Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am miserable. It's the weather. It is summer and we're feeling it. I'm currently in the northeast of the US. We are in the middle of a heat wave. It started I think on Wednesday or Thursday, and every day has been between 95 and 100. And I hate it. But even before then, it's getting hotter. We're in the middle of summer. Of course, it's gonna happen, right? But I've noticed recently, even like in previous years when it got really, really hot, I was excited to use like my matte foundations and still do a full face. This is the first time I think in my entire life of loving makeup that I've been actually gravitating towards like minimal, no makeup. And I think it's in part just because of how freaking hot it is. But also, I think also with how busy I am, because if I do a full face, as much as I love it, taking my time to do a full matte kind of beat down face, it could take upwards of like an hour. Which I love. It's kind of like my me time, but a lot of the time now I don't have a full hour to kind of sit down and do this. So what I've been doing instead is it's not really no makeup as I think a lot of people would see it, but I thought we could sit down and do what I've been doing recently as a no makeup face. Also, you are going to hear the air conditioner for this video, the next video, and maybe one more. I'm sorry, if I did not have it on, there would be no video. There just would not be. So it's either we film with the AC on, or I take a break for the entire month, like in between July and August. I don't know. Mid-July, mid-August, we just would not have any videos because it's nasty. Like I said, I think today it's actually going to hit over 100. Yesterday, we had it in the high 90s, and we were just literally spraying ourselves down with water and sitting in front of the AC. That's what we've been doing. But anyway, I want to get this makeup on so we can continue and film a couple of other videos today. So let me go ahead and get started. And before even getting into the makeup, I've been focusing a lot more on like skincare and of course SPF recently. I've been trying out a bunch of like Japanese SPFs I picked up on Amazon. If I can find the video, I will put it down below. But there was this woman who reviewed like 8 or 9 different Japanese SPFs, and it was just super helpful, very informative. But I've been vigilant this summer about making sure I have my SPF on, and this has been one of my favorites so far. This is the Biore UV Watery Essence, and this is a really good like everyday SPF. Just for like, I wear it like all over my face. I bring it down to my chest here, and then I'll use whatever's left over on my arms. But for my body, I use just a different, thicker kind of sunscreen. But this is what I've been wearing every day. I put it on every AM underneath my makeup, and even when I'm not wearing any makeup, this one's been my go-to. So I've already got my skincare and that SPF on. I did quickly do my brows before I started filming because brows are kind of boring, but I just used this Maybelline Color Tattoo and Risk Maker. It's a cream shadow in black, and I just kind of drew in the hairs up here, and then I lined the bottom, and then I just brought that through the rest of my hair using this Got2b brow gel, and it's just the Got2b glue in a container with a spoolie, and I love it. Honestly, I should have gotten this a long time ago, but I think this product itself, it's only available in UK or European drugstores, because I bought it on Amazon, but they had to ship it from the UK. So as much as I love it, I don't know how often I'm going to be able to get this. Part of me wants to just buy a few because I love this and I've been using it every day and it's great. So brows are done. Let's go ahead and get into the primer because I've not put primer on yet. So I just ran out of it, but my go-to primer recently has been the acne version of the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is just the regular Poreless Putty Primer, but the acne version, the green one that has salicylic acid in it, has been my go-to recently. I'm really sad I ran out of it. I need to like place an online order and buy some more because I have been breaking out quite a bit, like on the back here, like a lot over here. I've noticed I tend to break out more so around my time of the month, but I've noticed that in the hotter months, those breakouts start earlier, they last longer, and then by the time they've finally gone away and my skin clears up, it's time for another cycle, right? So I'm not a huge fan. So I'm going to take, later on, we'll do some spot concealing there. But that's what I've been using as primer to kind of help with those breakouts. Without that, I'm going to go with the Vitamin Enriched Face Base from Bobbi Brown. I wanted this a while ago. It's something that I mentioned like in a BWOW or in some other video, really wanting to pick up and try out, but I never did until like just now. So I do like it so far. I do think it's a bit overpriced for what it is, but it feels like let's put it this way. As a primer, it feels overpriced, but as a moisturizer, like, which essentially is what it is, it feels good. Like, it feels like it's a decent price point for that. So I make sure I also get a little bit of this under my eyes, because I've noticed by just keeping my under eyes hydrated, my no makeup looks have looked so much better. And then even with a full face of makeup, my under eyes just look very nice recently. So that's a combination of making sure they're primed properly, and also making sure I'm using a nice thick eye cream. I started using a thicker eye cream, and I think I'm going to stick to it. I picked up a jar of the, what is it? Is it the Belief Aqua Bomb? I'll put a picture up of what I'm using right now. It was a little pricey, but as I'm turning 30 this year, I kind of wanted to start looking for like a go-to eye cream, like an actual cream and then not a serum to use under my eyes. And I've been liking it, unfortunately because it's expensive, but it's like a really good product. Okay, so we are all primed. I did not wet a sponge. I need a sponge. God damn it. Hold on. Haha, and we are back. Now that we're here, we can get started with the Dermacol. So Dermacol is my go-to for this kind of spot concealing and regular concealing. And to make this apply the best, I found for like a no makeup application to like smear a decent amount of it on the back of my hand and just let it get warmed up. Because really, for this kind of application where I'm not really using any powder and I want it to look more like skin and not like a flawless, like full coverage concealer and foundation, which it is, I find that it works better if I warm it up a little bit first. So we're gonna let that sit for like a minute. So I used to go in usually and use a brush to apply this, but I've noticed that it just looks a lot more skin-like if you just straight up use your hands. Normally I hate using my hands for this kind of application, but it really just helps everything kind of just really meld in. So first I'm gonna take this and do a little dabbing under my eyes, and I'm not blending out just yet because I kind of want to place the product first. So I did a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a decent amount under my eyes. I want to spot conceal over here. I've got a lot down here, so I'm gonna just kind of do. I've got a red spot here. I want to cover. I've got another spot down here. I'm gonna take a little bit of that. And then, of course, what I've got going on up here. So, of course, from here, I like to blend out the under eye first with just a sponge. Because I think the sponge just really helps blend it in as close to under my eye as I can get. And I'm just going to bring what's left kind of over the red spots on my nose. And out here. And then for, like, what's left on my face, I'm just going to go in with my hands and just kind of tap it out. I didn't really have to do a whole lot on my forehead, so I'm just gonna bring up a little bit to kind of blend it together. And just so to not waste what's left on my hand, I think I'm gonna take the sponge. I don't want to apply too much to my forehead, but it does look slightly different because there's not as much product, so I'm gonna take a little bit of what's left and just kind of, yeah, not a whole lot, but just enough to kind of tie it together and use up what's left of my hand. And honestly, just the smooth, the cool sponge just feels really nice on my face right now. I could just sit here and do this for a bit. Okay, and then since we blended it in first with my fingers, it just looks more like skin. And then you can go in with a sponge and just kind of blend out any areas that don't look super blended, or if you want to bring a little bit of product up to a spot where it didn't have a lot when we first applied. And overall, we're already looking a lot better, right? We're looking fresh, we're looking awake, and this is exactly kind of what I've been going for recently, like just for like a quick work look, especially because I work from home, right? But I want to look awake, right? But I don't want to put like a whole lot of effort into it. So now that we've got the base kind of down and we've let it sit for a little bit, I'm going to go in with just a little blush. Typically, I would kind of skip over this just because it's summer and like my face already looks plenty flushed. But for this, especially because I'm going to be filming in a little bit, I don't think it's going to have time for the natural flush to kind of come through. It's already coming through a little bit, but I want to just take a little bit of this liquid blush. This is from Rare Beauty, and this is the shade Peace. It's just a really pretty, like, light orange, and I am just going to tap this over here. And then, depending on how it looks, I might go in with a sponge just to kind of blend it back in. There we go. We got a little bit more life in the cheeks, but it's not like too much. And I think it'll look even better as you just kind of live in this and wear it throughout the day. So this is about it for the base that I've been going for recently. Everything that I mainly want covered up is covered up, but it's not too much. And I have not been in powdering, which has been shocking me. Because normally, like, I powder every day. I use it every day. I bake my under eyes, but I've noticed that the Dermacol specifically, like, it looks nice on my under eyes. I've tried using other concealers, but I noticed that throughout the day, they will crease and, like, look kind of gunky. But with the Dermacol specifically, by not setting it, it looks a little bit better. So you might have to, like, tap it out with a sponge. If you don't wear too much eyeshadow. But I think the eyeshadow that we're going to be doing is going to set it just a little bit, and it's going to look really pretty. So let's jump into eyeshadow. So I've mainly been using my Pen That Palette eyeshadow, specifically like these yellow shades from the ColourPop Yes Please palette, because I've got a good amount of like pan in both of them. But sometimes I'll go for like a neutrally kind of look. I don't know, do I want to go for like a really orange? Well, we did orange blush. Let's go. So I'm going to go with an orange one. So I'm going to use like this matte orange shade, and then I'm going to use this darker like shimmery version of that shade. And we'll see how that turns out. So no makeup to me is more referring to like the base. I still like doing eyeshadow. So even when I'm doing like just this for the base, I will go in and do eyeshadow. So I'm going to prime my eyes just using the Pure Push Up Sculpting Concealer. This is one of those where I tried it my under eyes for this kind of look specifically, but it was A, a little too light for my skin tone to look natural like I wanted it to show up, and B, it kind of gunked up on my under eyes. It looks really nice when you set it, and it works nicely that way, but specifically for like a no makeup look, it didn't work that fantastic. Okay, so I just took that matte orange from my lid all the way up and blended it out. And now I'm going to take that shimmer shade on a smaller brush and kind of, I don't want to get fallout because the fallout will stick in the concealer. That's the downside to this. But I'm going to like tap it in and blend it out. And that's another thing I've been loving in like these hotter months is like a good 2 shadow look. Like just getting one matte, one shimmer, and then using them together to create a really quick eye look that makes it look like you spent 30 minutes on your eyeshadow, but in reality, you slapped it on in 2 seconds. And I like doing them kind of monotone, like keeping it in the same color family, like the yellows or the oranges, but you can go crazy, obviously, and do whatever you want. Boom, there. Great. So now I'm going to take the eyeshadow brushes I have not grabbed yet because I left them over here. So again, to kind of avoid the fallout, I'm going to take a liner brush just like that. I'm going to go into the shimmer shade first, and I'm going to stamp it right underneath there. And then I want a nice big kind of still shaped but fluffy brush. I'm going to go in first to just kind of blend this out a little bit. Ooh, it looks so pretty. And then we're going to go in with the matte, but I'm only going to take a little bit of the matte, and I'm going to stamp it at first because I don't want to do too much down here. And blend it out like that. Ooh, I'm feeling it. It looks very cute, very cute. So just to finish this up, I'm going to take an inner corner highlight. Now for highlight, that's the one thing that I've kept powder. I'm not a huge fan of like liquid or cream highlights. So I'm just going to take, I have Mary Luminizer in this Z palette, and I'm just going to use that as an inner corner highlight. And to be frank, since like my whole face is very like glowy from the no makeup look, when I do something like this, I have not been putting on an extra powder highlight. If anything, I try to avoid highlight because I will be sweating throughout the day, and I tend to sweat like right here and on my upper lip. And that's normally where I would highlight. So let's not draw more attention to those areas, shall we? I'm gonna take a little bit of that highlighter too and just kind of pop it up here in the brow bone. All right, and I thought I was gonna have to go in and touch up the concealer with a sponge, but it's still looking really nice. So before we jump in with mascara, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. So I'm gonna take the Milani Make It Last, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of the Fix Plus. So this is the regular Fix Plus from MAC. They've just came out with an actual setting spray, because this technically isn't a setting spray, it's a fixing spray, but I like using it. So I need to pick up the actual setting spray and test that out. But I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry fully. So I'm gonna use my fan. We'll be back shortly. Oh, this feels delightful. So I forgot one other step before I did the setting spray. Normally I would do this right before I do setting spray, but that is eyeliner. I've been going for just a nice white in the waterline to help me look awake and bright and chipper. But just a white, just it looks so nice, especially on camera, which all my video calls, everything that I do for work is through a webcam, so it really just helps make you pop out a little bit and make it look like you got a good night's sleep. Yeah, I want to get a nude. I don't think I have a nude a nude eyeliner. I kind of want to pick one up. I'm thinking maybe the one from Tarte, the Fake Awake. If you have any suggestions for like a light beigey, like to my skin tone-ish, which it's a little bit darker than the white. But if you have a recommendation for that kind of waterline or liner I could use in the waterline, please let me know down below. Can I speak today? Apparently not. Then we're just gonna go curl the lashes and do some mascara. Of course, we are going with my favorite affordable option, the Essence Lash Princess. Where would we be without this affordable mascara? It will never not blow my mind that a mascara that is this good is only $4. And there we have it. This has been my go-to work makeup. It's a no makeup look for the base, not so much with the eyes. But if you want to see a more like nude or natural-ish eye look, I could try doing that in another video or on my TikTok. Speaking of, here's my TikTok. I've been just burnt out on Instagram. Not a huge fan of Instagram anymore. So I've been posting on TikTok. So follow me there. Let me know if there's any other shorts ideas that you want to see from me, because my new YouTube schedule as of this month, it's 2 videos a week. One of them is a long form video, one of them is a YouTube shorts video. So the normal long form video comes out every Tuesday, the shorts video comes out every Friday. So if you have anything else that you'd like to see, let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.